we are going to answer some of the questions you may have about coming to Costa Rica in order to meet a Latin American lady, that special person that you have been looking for. So you are welcome to ask us any questions you may have, and we are here to answer all of them with our pressure. Okay, so feel free to ask any question that you may have in your mind about coming to Costa Rica. Alrighty. So
Okay, hi guys. I hope you're doing fine. And we all know that this pandemic is like a very strange for every kind of person right now. But we don't stop there. I, foreign affairs, have made decisions that have been helping with the pandemics, and we have certain, like, how would you say, requirements when it comes to meetings. But this doesn't stop here. We go further than that, and we really do our best to encourage the ladies to meet most men, that most of them have been already vaccinated. So this really brings a lot of like interest to women to meet these men that come from United States. So you are free to ask us anything that you want to know about the culture, about the food, about the women, or anything you want to know about Costa Rica. We are more than happy to help you answer these questions.
okay, so now getting to the point, actually there are a couple of questions from guys, and let's just jump into it. Okay, so for example, Matthew is asking, do Costa Rica women date non-Hispanic men? The answer to that is yes, of course. As a matter of fact, let me tell you this. One of the main reasons, and this might probably answer some of the future questions you may have, okay? So, ladies in Costa Rica, they have dated Hispanic men, okay? So, for some reason, things didn't work out, okay? So then they know about this agency, a foreign affairs here in Costa Rica, and they decide to join in order to meet somebody from another country. Okay, so they are not interested in meeting local guys or Hispanic men, I would say, anymore. So they come to us because they already know that they will not be able, or they are not going to find, they are not going to meet Hispanic men. Okay, they are going to meet guys from the U.S. and from some other countries. As a matter of fact, they have a very good reputation about guys from the States. So that's why they come to us in order to meet somebody nice with good values and things like that. So that's, I think that answers your question, Matthew.
There's something more I would like to add. Like, if you ask any women in Costa Rica, I am completely sure that at least one, I mean, that lady that you ask about relationships from people from other countries, they will always have this friend that got married with a man from United States or Canada, and they are happily married. So this really helps with the very good reputation that men from United States have when it comes to family and marriage. And yeah, this is very important. It's something to add. La pregunta.
Okay.
Yes, okay. There is a question from, I think the name is Fidel. How would you compare the women to other women from Ukraine or Philippines? This is a very strange and interesting question. I don't know much about Philippine culture or Ukraine culture, but I can tell you about our culture. In Costa Rica, all over Latin America, family is always number one. Like, for example, if you date a lady from this country, the family and you will always be number one, and also if you have children. So maybe this is something very important to add about our culture here.
Okay, I have another question here. Do many women in Costa Rica speak English? Uh, the ratio about that, it is kind of high right now. There are women that when they join, they do not speak any English at all. So after some time, they are able to speak a few words. And as long as they join the agency, we check about the level of English, and it's getting high. The numbers of people speak with English here in Costa Rica. So right now, I would say it is about maybe 40, 50%, something like that. Of course, there are some ladies that they do not speak good English to handle a conversation, but at least they are able to understand every single thing you said. It's hard for them to speak it, but I mean, using like a memo signals or writing down something, they 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 can get it through.
How many, Nido is asking a question, how many women usually show up at a social in Costa Rica? It depends on the number of the men that come to the social. Usually there is certain ratio of men that is acceptable. I'm sorry, certain ratio of men to women. So usually it's like one man, six ladies, or seven. It depends. So that's around the percentage. So you have an idea. If there are 10 men coming to the social, maybe there would be around 60, 70 ladies there. And usually we also have new ladies that they are not on the site, but they come to the social and join, and we interview them. And if they pass like the interview, then they can join AFA.
Okay, another question is, do you expect women to attend the social event even with COVID cases rising around the world? I am from Florida, and I wonder how willing Costa Rica women are to meet Americans now that our cases are so high. Okay, well, this is a very interesting question. Right now, we have been doing socials, and it's not like in the past that things were very critical. I mean, a very critical point. So no social was done whatsoever. So, but still, we are able to do it. Although it's not like before that we used to have many people, around the social. So right now, things are kind of restricted. We can have very few men and not that many women. Although the amount of women, it should be fair enough for every single guy. So, one guy and there are about 5 to 6 women per guy, something like that. And with the restrictions, I mean, as long as people follow the protocol the way it is, there should be no problem. So when we have the social, there is somebody who is always measuring people's temperature. And then based on that, okay, yeah, you are allowed to go in or you are not allowed to go in. And of course, people will need to use a facial mask, is part of the protocol, and keep social distance between one and the other. So based on that, we had the social a couple of months ago, and that was the way we did it, and it was great. It worked out pretty good for every single person who attended the social. So that's the way it is.
Something very important to add to that question. Usually, like if you have the vaccination for COVID, we will feel more secure. Like in Costa Rica, that's not exactly what you're asking, but just to let you know, at least we have like 60% of the total population of Costa Rica already vaccinated for COVID. But still, like Gustavo said, at the social, we need to have certain requirements that needs to be followed and go on.
Okay, another question is, should men expect to be masked during socials in Costa Rica until further notice? Yeah, well, I have already said about that. Of course, when it's the time for you to have your dinner at the social event, it's completely normal that you take it off. But once you are done, you have to put it back. Simple as that.
Okay, somebody's asking, how long is a flight from New York to Costa Rica? Okay, Mark. Usually that depends if it is like a direct flight or if you do scales. I have no idea how long it is New York to Costa Rica. How much time is that in hours? I don't know, Mark. I'm so sorry. We'll have to. Let's check on Google and find out.
Yeah, unless Mark, you want to probably check it out with your airline. Yeah. So that would be the easiest way to find out about that. Sorry for not being able to answer that question to you. Okay. Okay. Another question is: are Costa Rican Christian or open to different religions? I am a Muslim, and wonder what are my odds to meet a woman who would be interested in me. Um, well, about that, there's not any issue at all. I mean, if the lady for some reason respect your religion, and then you respect her religion also. Let's say that she is Christian or evangelic or Catholic, and none of the two parties is willing to change the religion beliefs about the other persons. That's fine. I mean, if in the future the lady decides to be Muslim or any other religion you are in, well, that's up to her. But I think the most important thing here is to respect each person's beliefs. That's the way it should be.
Jeff said, "Good evening, guys. Good evening, Jeff. Good evening, everybody." La otra,
Oh, Jeff.
okay. Bill is asking a question. If I take a solo trip to Costa Rica, is it better to pick women I want to meet now or wait until I get there and work with you in the office to find matches? Bill, every single lady, they have a life, they work, and sometimes it's not easy. Even if, like, for example, you meet a list of ladies that you want to meet, it's not easy to get in touch with them. But usually, it should be like maybe like 3 days before you get to Costa Rica. Maybe you send like a priority list of ladies that you would be like very very interested in meeting, and we'll try to help you connect with that lady, and also that you meet her, of course.
Okay, another question. Will the Costa Rican group tour happen? Yes, of course. As a matter of fact, it's being lined up for September, and we already have a couple of guys who have signed up for that tour. So, yeah, definitely it's going to happen. And like I said just a moment ago, uh, we cannot have a lot of guys on the tour itself because this situation that the world has been facing for quite long already. The thing is, if you are planning to be part of that group tour, I would just sign up immediately because if I don't do it immediately, it would happen that if I let some time to pass by, okay, now I'm ready. I'm going to call to contact the agency to sign up for that group tour. They might tell you, hey, I'm sorry, we are already sold out because what I had told you earlier, we cannot have many guys like we used to do it before this terrible situation. So just for you to keep in mind about that, guys. Alrighty. Okay, I have another question. Do Costa Rica women have any issues with non-drinkers? I gave half alcohol, but I don't mind if my woman drinks socially. Yeah, about that, not at all. I mean, that's perfect. The thing that I have came across with is pretty much the fact about guys who tend to smoke. So for several ladies that I have known very particular cases, they are not happy with it when a guy tends to smoke like chimney. And but I mean, a guy who doesn't drink is quite good. It's awesome. They will love that. And also, if the guy is allowed to have somebody who can drink socially, it is perfectly fine. Okay, so
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah. And well, in this culture, it's like very common that, for example, you go out with your friends and maybe have one drink, two drinks, or something like this. So this is very common, and if you're comfortable with that, with your future partner to be like this, so everything will be perfect.
Okay, I have a question from David. Gustavo, we have met on a singles tour in the past. Really? I don't remember about you,
David from New York.
Sorry. You were my first tour, so I was a rookie. I am 65 years old gringo, is a 45-year-old woman in Costa Rica reasonable age difference? Yes, absolutely, David. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so that's to have the foot on the ground. Now, if you were telling me, okay, this is my age, and I'm just looking for somebody who is about 18, 25. No, no, David, you really have to expand your age difference because no way. I mean, well, not here in Costa Rica. That's not any fair. It's not reasonable. It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, 20 years difference is just perfect. Awesome. Go for it. Oh, by the way, David, it will be good to see you in Costa Rica some other time, okay? So if you could just sign up for this tour in September, hey, awesome. Alrighty.
Okay, Mark is asking, I wonder how a lady from Costa Rica would deal with a man living in the northeast, which is cold in the winter. Mark, well, we know many stories that the ladies leave Costa Rica and go to live to United States, and they just, I mean, adapt. Eventually, you will have to find like a something. I don't know what you use in the winter, like a heater or something. I guess, I mean, it doesn't matter. That really that's not important. There are more important things that just the weather is important. That you have a nice relationship with that person, and believe me, if that person loves you, that person will do anything to keep you happy, and that this person adapt to the new situation that they have or the new lifestyle.
Okay, this is a very interesting question from Daniel. It seems like not as many men go to Costa Rica on tours. I don't see as many videos from there. Any reason why? Uh, Yes, absolutely. I would say we have been quite a lot behind on it, okay? But that doesn't mean like we don't have tours. We always have group tours, okay? So about this, we have made some changes, and it means that from started from last social event, we started having videos, okay? And it's going to be like that. So for our next September group tour, of course, we will have a video probably way much better than the previous one, and so on. And we will continue working on it and improving as long as we go. Okay, so this is this situation of not having pictures and videos. Like I said, corrections have been taken in consideration, and that is not going to happen anymore. Okay, so it's just from now, from our past tour on, that we are going to post a group video store along with pictures. Okay, thank you for asking.
Uh, Brian is asking, where would be a good place to take the ladies on the second date? Second date, do ladies like to go bowling or just dance at the club? Are the clubs open? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They are open. Like that depends on the lady. That definitely depends on her if she likes doing things like that. But these options are like all over in San Jose, so it's very. I mean, you just go like 10 minutes, find a place to go bowling or to dance. That depends on the interest of each person. So yeah, this seems like a very fun second date. Yeah.
Okay, Joe is asking if I write a woman from Costa Rica, how likely is it that I can meet her when I get there? Well, chances are, high are always. I mean, if you write to a lady and you keep corresponding with her, and she's sending responses back and forth, once you are in Costa Rica, you can definitely meet with the lady. So we go ahead and set up a private date so that you and the lady both go to the office, okay, and meet just right there, okay. So, yeah, go for it.
When you write to a lady, it's important that you also send like a photo of yourself, and that is like a recent photo, because sometimes some men send photos that are a bit older, and when they meet in person, sometimes the ladies feel a bit frustrated. So this is not like for playing games. This is real. So this is your chance to meet somebody that will love you for who you are, not for somebody that you pretend you are. So this is very important. Please send recent photos and yeah, just be yourself.
Yeah, and also the fact, not also the fact that you can send some current picture of yourself. You have the right, okay, to ask the lady to send some current pictures of yourself. Of course, we encourage the ladies that they would need to send us new pictures every 6 months, okay, in order to have their profiles updated, okay. But still, if you are corresponding with one lady and then you are sending her current pictures, hey, you can ask her to send you some current pictures of herself also. Alrighty. Somebody was asking about the food on the social event. Like, okay, so what time do we eat? Do we eat after the social is over or before? So normally dinner is being served. Well, let's say like when it's about 1 hour to finish the social event. Okay, so people have certain amount of minutes to enjoy their dinner, and then after they have finished eating, they can just jump into some of the previous tables where they were before and talk some more with some of the ladies in that particular table. Okay, so I recommend you that before coming to the social, if you are kind of a big eater, you better eat something before going there. Okay, although you can just ask the lady, any particular lady that you like, hey, how about if when the social is over, you and I go out together and probably we can go to one of your favorite restaurants for dinner, So it's quite possible. Why not?
Yeah, and the length of the socials usually is like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Tres horas y media.
Yeah, around that time, 3 hours and a half.
Okay, another question. What do Costa Rican girls think about me relocating there rather than bringing her to America? Well, that's great. Awesome. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something unique about Costa Rican ladies. Uh, do not ever get the idea that they join this agency because they want to immigrate to the US or any other country in Europe, because it is not like that. If they find any guy that they like, they feel more comfortable with, and they really would like this guy to come to Costa Rica to live for good. Now, there are several situations where the guy is not possible for him to do that because his business, his job, everything back in the US is not possible. So then he will ask the lady, hey, this is my situation. There's not any way that I can go to Costa Rica to live for good. But we can work it out. Okay, so the best way they just work it out with the lady when she feels really comfortable with this guy, she's willing to be relocated. Okay, so now the thing is, okay, if I go to your country and be relocated down there, I want to see my family. So then the guy says, okay, well, in a situation like this, probably in a year you can travel, I don't know, 2 or 3 times back to your country so that you can spend some time with your family. So this kind of negotiation is something really good for both parts, and that's the way people do it. So there's not any issue about it. But of course, they will feel very happy if the guy will come here to live for good because they really like their country. They have everything they need here, and people in Costa Rica live happy. So that's it.
Um,
Another question: how many tours are there in Costa Rica each year?
Before COVID or after COVID?
Okay, yeah. Let me.
Before COVID or after COVID?
Okay, no. About this, I was just talking to the manager, the owner of the company, because it is so sad that for Costa Rica for next year, we're going to have about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 tours in a whole year, something like that. So I was just asking him, hey, why so? I mean, so very so not. I mean, so very little tours in Costa Rica. So we can still one do. We can still do one more. Let's say like instead of three, probably we can do four in the whole year, like we used to do it in the past. So I don't know. I think that is still it is in consideration, but I think for next year we only have about two tours in the whole year. So I hope if he watches this video, he might consider my thought about setting up another group tour in another particular date that he might think it will be convenient. But I mean, every single time that we have these group tours, we have had many guys. Of course, before the COVID, many, but after the COVID, is not that many because you already know. Okay.
Um, David is asking, are masks mandatory in Costa Rica? Yeah, if you go to places like, for example, when you enter to a restaurant, you have to wear your mask until you sit on your table. And for example, if you go to national parks, when you do the payment for the entrance and all that, you have to wear your mask. And even in social areas, you have to wear your mask. So that's how it is. It depends. It doesn't matter if you have the vaccine or not. You have to wear it mostly because it's very respectful to other people. So if you're walking on the street, you don't need to wear it. But if there are some people around you, you will see that they will put their mask for being respectful to you.
How does Costa Rica compare to Colombia, Peru, in regards to sightseeing? Well, I particularly think all those three countries have beautiful sightseeing. So there's not any one that I can tell you is better than the other because I mean the scenery, the sightseeing for each single one is so beautiful. I mean, we talk about Colombia. There are many beautiful places in Colombia that are unique. As a matter of fact, let me tell you that I am from Colombia, from Cartagena. So, I mean, about my country, well, I love it. Beautiful sightseeing. In Peru, I was in Peru, and I mean, the sightseeing out there is wonderful. If we are talking about the Machu Picchu, wow, that's really stunning. And in Costa Rica, of course, there are many beautiful places that you can go sightseeing. For example, the volcanoes. There are several volcanoes, and it is, I mean, something unique because those volcanoes are active. And when you see, I mean, it's nighttime, you can see the lava that is coming down. Oh my goodness. This is something unique. You have to be there to see it, to enjoy it. There's nothing words for me to tell you how stunning this, I mean, this scenario from this volcano, the sighting from this volcano, how great, how imponent it is. So it worth visiting. Okay.
Yeah, and also the like rainforest and the beaches here are very popular. Most of the nice places to see are not in San Jose downtown. You have to go outside to see them. And this is a country that always attracts people for basically nature. Is going and see the birds, the monkeys, and the national parks.
I am not getting the vaccination. Does that limit my chances, in your opinion, to date many women in your agency? Uh, well, at some point, yes, because here in Costa Rica, every single person is having the vaccination. Of course, there are some people who are like in your case, like they don't want to get the vaccination, but it will be bought at some point, especially if you come across a lady who has already had the vaccination. She might probably ask you, hey, did you ever had the vaccination? And then you tell her, well, no, I don't really believe in that. I'm not getting that vaccination. the lady might, hey, okay, well, thank you, goodbye, nice meeting you, you know. So that's something for you to consider. Alrighty.
Tom is asking, are Ubers available in Costa Rica or is it all taxis? Yes, they are available, and there is another app that is also very common as Uber that is called like Didi or something. And it works very well, but I would highly recommend Uber to go any place you want to go. And many of the Uber drivers, they speak at least some English enough to help you out if you need something on the way to get to you're going. Sean is asking, how well do you know the women that use your service? Um, well, there are many levels of getting to know a person. Let's say, like, we do our best to make an interview and find out what they want, what they are looking for, and see if this fits what a foreign affair needs from the ladies. That mostly is like being committed to meet somebody that would eventually be the person that you're looking for to get married and have a serious relationship. So let's say this part of getting to know the women very well, that definitely depends on the man that really wants to get to know this person. It's like a chance anyway. Like when you meet somebody, it's always like a chance that there is chemistry or not. So this will tell you a lot of things. If there is chemistry, you know that you can get to know this person better. And also always trust your feelings. I always say that if you feel like you're very interested in this person and you trust this person, go ahead. And if you feel like you don't trust this person so much, okay, no, goodbye, ciao.
Okay, Sam's question: who runs the tours in Costa Rica? Uh, these two persons, okay? My sister Andrea and myself, we are the only ones who runs the tours in Costa Rica. I think that would answer your question, right?
See, we have a very interesting system. I don't know if they use this system in other countries, but is kind of organized. Like for example, there are several tables, and in each tables there's a man sitting and around maybe five ladies or six ladies. And this man goes to one table to the other, and he introduces himself with the translator or not, depending if he can speak Spanish or not. And then he would talk to all the ladies. So all of the ladies will have, and everybody at the social will have a name tag. The name tag has certain color. For example, red means that the lady speaks very good English, so you don't need the interpreter to help you out. So you can directly ask and talk to her. So before you move from, let's say you're in table number one and you have to move to table number two, you just ask the ladies, hey, who wants to share contact information with me? So at the table, we have like a piece of paper that they fill out with the name, ID, phone number, and email address. So this is something that you just do, and it's like very casual. You just say, hey, who wants to share information with me? And you will get all these pieces of paper with the information of the ladies. So this is the way we do it here. And we have had many very good reviews about this because it doesn't put like the lady like on a difficult situation that she doesn't want to give you her contact information if you ask her just like, hey, give me your contact information. So yeah, this is how we do it here.
Okay, Tom is saying, Gustavo, thanks for your help. I went to Medellin in May, June, and I left my wallet in the taxi. You contacted Maria. Next day, the driver returned. Good news, I found my lady. We'll meet in Miami in 10 days. Great. Wow. Awesome. Tom, I'm very happy to hear that. Okay. Great. That's great news. Alrighty. With all my pleasure, Tom. Okay, Vince is asking, if I do a video call with the girls, can I give them my email address or WhatsApp? Okay, let me see if I understand this. The agency normally offers the service to do a Skype video call with the guys. Okay, so the thing is, by doing it this way, it is not allowed to interchange any personal contact information in that moment. Okay, however, you can through the same video call, you can just tell the lady, hey, I want to communicate with you directly, not through the agency anymore. So it is something that you are willing to do. If the lady says, yes, I can do it. Or, well, let me think about it. That's different. Okay, so if the lady says yes, then you can just tell her immediately, okay, why don't you contact your local office and tell them that we are willing to interchange personal contact information, that you are willing to sign the IMBRA form, okay? So if this is fine with her, perfect. Then in your case, you will need to contact the local office, okay, the office in Phoenix, to tell them that you are willing to exchange personal contact information with any particular lady, and there's some sort of protocol or something that you will need to do with them directly, okay? So that's the way it is. Now, if the lady says, no, let me think about it, well, I mean, there's not anything you can do about it. See, she's not comfortable in that moment. Maybe some other time she will be. Okay.
Brian is asking, are there any women in their early mid or late 40s? I am 43, nothing against younger women, but I would like to stay with my age range. Uh, that's very good, Brian. That really is a good thing, I would say. Usually we try to recommend men not to surpass this age gap that would be like 15 or 20 years to keep the expectation realistic and investing your time wisely. So this what you're saying is wonderful.
Okay. Very interesting question here. Should I exchange my dollars before getting there? Okay. Let me put it this way. Let's say right now $1 worth about 612 colones. Okay. So if you, for example, get to the Costa Rican airport and you try to get some colones, the rate, okay, the exchange rate is going to be very low. I would say maybe 450. So you compare 612 minus 450. Wow, that's kind of a big difference. So something like that, maybe 10 or 20 or 50, no more than that. Okay, so once you are in the country already, you can go to any local bank and then you can just get some colones for dollars, and the rate is going to be the one I have just told you, 612. However, if in your country you can get something for maybe 400 or 450, hey, so maybe something, I mean, a very little amount to just hang around. But like I said, once you go to a local bank, being in Costa Rica, you can get the exact exchange rate.
Yeah, something more. Usually, they take all credit cards except what was
American
that?
Express.
American Express. For some reason, it's not allowed in many businesses and restaurants and so on. And yeah, they would take dollars at the stores, for example, or at restaurants, but the rate is not like a fair rate. Usually, you want to get your dollars changed at the bank so that you have a very good rate for your money, of course.
Okay, another question from Brian. How do the ladies feel about African American men? And just curious about that. Hey, they don't have any preference about that. There's not any issue. Okay.
Yeah, actually, we have this tour client that he is African American, and he was like a single tour client, and he and the lady asked to remove the profile of the lady because they were having a relationship. He didn't came on a tour, like a group tour, just like a singles tour, and he met many ladies during the days he was here, and it seems to be that somebody already stole his heart.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
checking on the computer. It's kind of slow. Let me see. We already answered that. That's the over question.
Quiero comentar algo.
Um, oh, ese ya la respondí.
Esa.
Andrea, what is your favorite things to do on a date? Biking, riding the bicycle. that would be a very good date. Not just kidding. Usually, like for Costa Rican culture, it's like very common that you, when you meet that person, you go to have a coffee. But usually depends on the time that you set up the meeting. Let's say if you meet a lady between 12, 1 or 2 p.m., yeah, maybe 2 p.m., that would be like lunchtime here, and it's expected that you go out to have something to eat. If you meet somebody like around 3 4 p.m., usually it's coffee time. And in Costa Rica it's like something very particular. I don't know if it is common in other countries, but when you say that you're going to have coffee, you have a big cup of coffee and some common bread and things like that, or cakes. And yeah, this is the coffee time in Costa Rica. Just that you have that in mind. And yeah, dinner usually like 6 7 p.m. around that time.
Esta ya.
I am thinking. Okay, Jess or I don't know how to
Jesse,
pronounce
Jesse,
it.
yes.
Jesse, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about moving to Costa Rica and living there year round. Once I'm there, can I use your services? Of course, of course. I mean, it doesn't matter if you live here or outside. You will always be welcome to use our services, and we will be very happy to help you out to find that special somebody.
Okay, somebody was asking about how a lady would deal with a man living in the northeast, which is cold in the winter.
Ya le respondimos.
Ah, ya se fue
I think
respondida.
we already responded to that question.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, feel free to ask more questions because time is also like, I don't know what time it is.
Okay, there's another question here. Are we assigned an interpreter for the socials in Costa Rica? Is it okay to date the interpreter if we connect, and has that happened on prior AFA tours? Yes, absolutely. About this question, every single guy will have an interpreter, a female interpreter, of course, okay? And this person will be with you both social events, okay? Uh, in regards to your question about a possible connection, yes, that is possible. I mean, my sister and myself will not do anything in order to prevent that to happen. Throughout all the years, we have had this kind of situation where there's a connection between the two persons, and good for the guy. Unfortunately, we cannot have that female translator anymore because there was a good connection, and they all decide to make a life together. So good for both of them, you know. So that always happens.
Something more to add, we also we only have female interpreters at the socials. There are not male interpreters, so just that you know. Uh, s- um,
Mira, está preguntando eso. La primera.
Somebody's asking, Andrea, what about taking a lady for some dessert? Yeah, usually, like I've told you, like 3, 4 is like time for coffee and cake or something like that. See, that would be good.
Okay, another question. Are you guys still doing socials only for the tours? Yes, absolutely. Only for the tours. So that's the only way we do social events.
Justin, are you confident the tour will remain on schedule? Yes, I mean we mentioned before, this COVID thing is not going to be worse. It doesn't seem that it's going to be worse, but unless like the government tells you that they don't allow to do like these big gatherings or something gatherings. How do you say that in English? I'm sorry for my English. Yeah, so unless that the government says this is not allowed, then we won't be able to do the tour. But as everything is going in Costa Rica, it seems to be that we will get back to normal, or not normal, but almost normal very soon. So yeah, we're confident, and I'm sure that we will have this tour, this coming tour in September.
Yes. Okay, Jacob is asking, I am only 28. years old. Would women in Costa Rica take me serious? I want to find a woman to marry and start a family with in the States. Yes, absolutely, Jacob. The fact you are 28, I mean, late 20s, is perfectly fine. So you can probably find somebody very close to your age, and if there's a good connection, hey, you can marry with that lady, and if she's willing to go and live with you in the States, you can definitely do or make a life together, you know?
Yeah, yeah, give it a try. And this is like most of the ladies that we have that are very young, they are always like, hey, would I meet somebody that is close to my age? And actually, your age is a very good one. I mean, you should come to Costa Rica and meet the ladies here. And you will be surprised. Like many men that they come here, sometimes they don't know what to expect. And they, when they come back to United States, they always say this, why I didn't try this before. I lost so many time in my life. I should have tried this before. So give it a try and you're welcome. We'll be here to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, 28 is 28. It's quite different if you tell me, okay, well, I am just 21. So, hey, enjoy life a little bit more, but 28 is perfectly fine, okay? I was in Costa Rica 20 years ago on a vacation. I should have married with the woman I was dating. Then, what a mistake. Well, that's the way it is. Sometimes or I would say all the time, we are taking decisions in our lives. Sometimes are right, some other times are not right. But the thing is, you can just give it a try. Why not? So I invite you to, and also some of the other guys who are willing to come to Costa Rica in September for our group tour and find that special person. Maybe this time you can find somebody that you might feel have a great connection like never before, and then you can just marry this lady immediately, without thinking about that anymore.
I am okay. Harrison is asking. I am a divorced man with 3 kids. Would this scare off many Costa Rican girls? Um, mm, yes and no. It depends. Like if the children are living with you, maybe it would be kind of complicated, especially if, for example, you want to meet a lady that doesn't have any children. So this has to be like a balance. If you have 3 children and, for example, they live with you, I don't know, try to find a woman that has children already and that is in a similar position to you. Because if you expect to find a woman that doesn't have any children, then maybe that person doesn't have the maturity to deal with a situation like this in case they live with you. So I mean, there are many variantes, variants.
Point of view about that.
Yeah, many points. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like, for example, maybe if the lady cannot have children, they might feel kind of frustrated about this, to call it somehow. However, if they meet a guy with 3 children already, then she would just take them if they were hers, and don't. And at the end, she's not going to care if you only have one, two, or three, or five. So, the situation about this, it depends each particular situation, but the best way to work it out is just with that particular lady that you feel a connection with, and let her know ahead of time your real situation, and then based on that, the lady might tell you yes or not. If she says yes, okay, well, you're all set. If she tells you, well, I feel a little uncomfortable, hey, okay, let's forget about her and concentrate on another one. Simple as that.
Eric is asking, how close is the Costa Rica office to the ocean? The closest beach, it would be like 2 hours and a half by car. I don't know how much is that on miles, but in kilometers is like 100 kilometers, I think. Yeah, but let's say 2 hours, 3 hours. The closest one, but not the nicest ones. The other ones, it could be like 5 hours drive, probably.
Okay, I have this question from Edwin. Is there a package deal for the tours, such as flight, hotel, social, all combined for one price? Okay, about this, the package deal that the agency offers is airport pickup, okay, hotel accommodations, and two large social events, okay. However, if you are interested in something with the flight already, uh, I would recommend you to contact the office in Phoenix, and I am completely sure the department in charge of these group tours will be more than happy to help you out getting the flight the flight as well. Okay, for the way you want it all combined together. Okay. How close is the Costa Rica office from the ocean? I answered that. Yeah. Okay. I want.
So Tim is asking a question that I'm having troubles understanding. What is the visa situation in Costa Rica? There are several options in Colombia. I'm sorry, Tim, but I cannot get that question. What is the visa situation? Is it like visa to go to United States? Well, if it that was a question, in Costa Rica, it's like very common that you meet ladies that have a visa to go to United States. So I understand that in Colombia it's not that common. So that makes them, I mean, more able to visit United States in case they meet somebody special.
Okay. Raven. Hello. What is the most important thing to Costa Rica women? Love, honesty, loyalty, commitment, etc. Continue. About that question, if you see the profiles from the ladies in Costa Rica, these virtues that you just mentioned are like the most common ones that they are seeking for in a partner. So that definitely would be like, especially honesty. They always say that this is very important for them when we do the interviews to join them to the site. Also, they mentioned they don't like measurement, so that's machistas. Yeah, like macho man. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that they don't really want in their life. Maybe somebody that will be like a guidance for the family life or something, but not like somebody will impose things to them. Like, yeah. Mm, La última. Ok, ya está. Bueno. Uh, Brian is asking this question. I speak decent Spanish. How do the ladies feel that I can speak some Spanish? Is that impressive to the ladies? Or will they laugh because I may not be saying right? Brian, you will be surprised on how polite and respectful the people in Costa Rica are, and they will really value your effort trying to communicate. And if you speak some Spanish, they will try their best to speak slow to you so that you can understand what they are saying. So this will be very impressive, yes. Okay, I have another question. What are the opportunities for an older man about 60s to find that special person? Okay, well, chances about this are, I mean, very high. Of course, you will need to go for a woman who is about 40, I mean, about 40 years old on, and is perfectly fine, okay? So a woman under 40, I would not recommend you. I mean, it's not, I mean, if you are really looking for something serious, maybe 40 years old on, it will be the perfect match. Okay, so that's what I recommend you. Okay, well, guys, our time is up for now. Thank you so much for being with us in this particular broadcast. And thank you so much for your attention, for your participation. All I can tell you guys is if you are still alone and working in order to find that special person, chances for you are very high. So I recommend all of you to come to Costa Rica. Probably you can do it on a group tour if you feel more comfortable, or maybe a single tour. So you can be introduced to several interesting single women who are looking for that special person. Like I said, they have a very good reputation. They think very good about guys from the States. So any guy who is interested in meeting a Latin American woman from Costa Rica, my sister Andrea and myself, we are here to help you out in order for you to find that special person. And that way you don't have to be alone anymore. So just don't think about that anymore, and just take the decision now. Okay, tomorrow might be late. So uh, eh, that's my biggest recommendation for all of you. Okay, so thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the questions. I really like many of the questions. They were very interesting, and I hope that I have helped. Me and Gustavo have helped to not to have many doubts about how this works. And I know for some men who never tried something like this before, it may seem kind of weird, or I don't know. Maybe you're not so sure about trusting us, but believe me when I say, like, many men, they always say, hey, I cannot believe I didn't try this before. So this is a wonderful chance to meet wonderful people that in case that they are not your perfect match, you will have somebody that you can call your friend for the future. So, I mean, we have had many good, successful stories. So, why don't you come to Costa Rica and be part of these wonderful, successful stories? So, that's all. And thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Okay, thank you guys. Until next time.
Ciao.
Goodbye then.
Cancela.
Cancele.
Cancelo.
Okay, here right now we have Mark, who is another tour client, and on our last social here in Costa Rica today, March 20, 2021. So, Mark, how was this last social event for you tonight?
Unbelievable.
Companion, so.
Can you see? I mean, there could not be better. This is Mary. What a sweetheart. I met her and her daughter together.
Okay, mother and daughter.
Mother and daughter, you couldn't tell that they were, you know that they look alike, but there's no way they look like sisters.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Wow. So, it looks like tonight's social was very good for you because you have met this beautiful lady.
Outstanding. Not only because she's beautiful, but because she's real and she's a sweetheart. She's genuine. She's the kind of woman a person would want to meet.
Okay, good. ¿Ese es tu primer evento social, Mary?
Segundo.
Okay. ¿Qué tal te pareció?
Es muy bonito, bueno, me falta como acostumbrarme, pero sí es muy agradable. Sobre todo me gusta mucho cómo lo manejan, el respeto de las personas y la forma en que organizan la comunicación y demás. Muy interesante.
Perfecto, muchas gracias. So, Mark, how was this social event tonight compared to the one we had last night?
Comparable. They were both beyond my expectations. Both of them rose above what I would hope for. I didn't expect to find the quality and interesting people that I found. It's not that I'm overwhelmed, but yet I found people that I could be very much interested in, genuinely, especially Mary.
Okay, so Mark, what would you like to tell those guys who are watching you right now? Like, I mean, they are at home, alone, they don't have any woman. So, do you think it's a good way to try one of the tools that the agency organizes worldwide in order to find that person.
Gustavo, the best thing I can say to you is this. Like most men, there are no limitations. You can meet women no matter where you're at. But for the reasons that we do not commit to those relationships or those people, you will find it in these situations because we are looking for something unique. And unique is what I find. Unique is what makes me happy. I'm not looking for standard issue. I'm not looking for everyday kind of thing. I'm looking for something that can open my heart, open my mind, make me curious, and make me follow through. Guys, for real, trust me, I can meet people wherever I go. This makes me happy.
Yeah, I can see you both are very, very happy. So it's another successful story through effort in a friendly one you are right now. So
I say, try it. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Everything to gain. Try it.